Hello there and welcome to my Carolina garden at about 6:10 in the morning. This is probably the earliest I've had you out with me, and we are going to start rocking and rolling on our garden chores immediately before it gets too hot. It is so thick and humid out though, so that's already uncomfortable, sadly for me. But I have a lot to accomplish today, and I thought, I've never taken you around while I've just bebopped all around the yard and accomplished everything I had to. So I have a list where everything needs to be checked off today. Hi you guys, this is Nicole from My Carolina Garden. My garden is located in growing zone 8B and we are in southeastern North Carolina. I'm going to walk you around the front yard and we're going to check out some of the things that I actually need to accomplish. I have a couple of new things that I put in pots that I have to add drip irrigation to. I have a rock that I have painted out in the garden. It's out in the island of misfit toys. Oh my gosh, it's needed to be repainted for a long time now. So we are going to get that rocking and rolling. I have caladiums that I need to plant. I have my DIY garden easel that needs new plants because I recently took out the Bluephoria mandevilla that was just not doing well at all. As we enter the front yard, this is one of the planters that I need to put drip irrigation in. So I have my zinnias inside my little pickup truck planter. This is the garden easel that needs new plants in it. So the sweet potato vine is really all that's left in here. We might go shopping together or we might shop the yard together for that. I just may as well point out this perennial hibiscus bloom because I think I'm on the last of the ones I'm going to have. So good morning. But here we go with the purple mandevilla back there. So I have to get drip irrigation into this pot here. These gorgeous babies. Oh, all the color I added recently looks great. I am so thrilled about it. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this is the Peninsula Garden. Let me go show you the island of misfit toys. Oh, wait. One more thing to point out. So I keep talking about my gomphrena. I'm so excited about it. But there we go. The stargazer did start opening up out here. My ones in the backyard are already done. So outside my fence line is what I like to call my island of misfit toys. And so this area was created with all plants that I've divided up or gotten for free in one way, shape, or form, etc. This rock, every flower must grow through dirt. Ugh, it needs help so badly. It used to even have a lot of colors in there. So this is one of the probably the first thing I'm going to work on because the sun rises from this direction. So it's going to get hot and sunny over here first. So let's go grab our paint supplies. I don't have the color exactly that I used before, but I have this one, so that's what we're using. I have to say that one of the reasons that I got a fire lit under my butt to actually get this rock repainted is because one of my neighbors, who is a grandma, said she walks each morning with the grandchild and they come and read this rock together. Now the grandchild is a baby, so it makes it even more adorable because grandma's spending time teaching the baby different things and stuff. And I was like, oh my gosh, I love that so much. And as per my usual style with things like my blue boardwalk and different garden decor like my easel and stuff. I am very rustic, I would say, in like nature style. So this is not meant to be the image of perfection here. This is meant to be fun, pretty, and something for people to look at clearly. So we're going to leave this here like this for now. I didn't add any extra color because the sun is already coming up with so much heat that I want to really get into like the dirt and the garden tasks that I need to accomplish today. But this is still a huge improvement from where we started out this morning. I washed the paint off of my hands and now I'm just letting the blood flow back through my legs again since I was squatting down doing the painting on the rock. So I figured we could have a little bit of coffee and talk about these planters right next to me. Now, some of the things I have in here are Irrigation, which you can still get in garden centers now, so it's not just a cold weather plant. And it's gotten so huge. The stalks of it are like a hot pink color. I have never tried to propagate Irrigation before. In fact, this is the first time I've even had it. So I'm not sure if I want to clip it back at all or just kind of take this pot apart. But something else I have in here are bromeliads. They're now hidden, tucked behind right here, but they came from my uncle's house in Florida. So if you live in Florida, you probably see bromeliads all the time, everywhere you go. Here in North Carolina, I see them mainly as indoor houseplants until this past weekend. This past weekend, I actually saw probably this style in Home Depot. It costs $13 per plant and you get essentially like one large shoot. But I thought that was really cool. So I started out with one in here. I now have several and I did know that they multiplied. So I'm thinking I would like to take a couple of those out or apart. My only hesitation on this entire thing is I don't want to damage anything that's in here because it looks so good. It's healthy, it's full. I have sweet potato vines, also healthy, full, beautiful down at the bottom. So that is a project for another day because it's probably going to take me a long time to get that done. I swapped out my paint supplies tote and instead put my drip irrigation tools in here. So here's my cute little pickup truck planter. And I do have a drip irrigation line right behind it. However, it's 1/4 inch, which is the skinnier of the two kinds of lines you can have. And I'm not sure if I can punch a hole in that to add irrigation to it, but I'm gonna try. The hole punch tool that looks like this, you buy it right in the garden center with the drip irrigation stuff. I know you're not gonna be able to see me punch a hole because I have to cover up a little bit over here, but let's see. Well, no way, that was not going to work at all. So now I need a longer line to go ahead and punch a hole through my fat 1/2 inch line over here. Now I'm going to use my hole puncher on my fat line over here. Boom, that's how easy it's supposed to be. And let's see how long I need this to be. Oh, I need my other tools. Silly girl. So from the hole that I just punched, now I'm going to stick one of the couplings into it. And that's just going to allow water to transfer out of the main line and into this smaller line that I'm adding. You just got to use a little force to get these things to attach to each other. And right now, there we go. Woo! I was going to say, seem to be lacking the force necessary. All right, I'm going to cut beyond this spot here. That's the length I need so that I can then have enough slack to actually bury it. So that's extra. My hole punch is not needed. So I'm going to take my line, pop it in again with your force. And that is it. Now I have a line with an inline dripper here that is just going to head on over to my pickup truck. We'll finish covering that back up later. So I guess what you just learned from me is don't try to poke a hole in your 1/4 inch line. It will not work. Never mind the fact that the coupling was going to be too big to go in the hole after the fact, which I realized as I was trying to poke a hole. So don't do that. Only poke holes in the larger 1/2 inch line. Over here, this is the purple mandevilla. We are going to do the exact same thing. Now I know where my 1/2 inch line is, and it's right here behind the pot, which is perfect. So from the 1/2 inch line, we are going to poke our hole or punch our hole. And then this is my baggie of couplings. These are the 1/4 inch because they're going to attach me to my 1/4 inch drip line here. So this is what the coupling looks like. I'm going to poke it into this hole. Take my 1/4 inch line, put it up at the top. So that's what that connection looks like. Very simple. The next part is I just want to measure out my line to see how much line I need to go inside my pot here. And then snip. From here, I need this thing that looks like a spinning top, and this is called an inline dripper. The inline dripper is where the water is going to come out of. So I just want to plug my spinning top basically into the top of my line. Now, you're not done when you have a dripper like this. This is not the end. I can't just put this into my pot because what's going to happen is water's going to shoot out of this area. I need it to only be a dripper. So I need to attach a little bit more line to the end of my spinning top, make another cut. I'm going to give it a little bit of space so I have some room for my fittings to fit in. So I cut a little bit more, and now I need the end plug. So the 1/4 inch end plug, everything I'm using, obviously 1/4 inch because that's the line I'm working with. And the end plug is literally a plug, a stop, an end point. Water will not be able to flow out of the end of this line now. So again, everything with drip irrigation like this is just using your muscle. There is no tape, there is no adhesive, nothing. So the water is going to come out of this inline dripper. So I'm going to put that inside my pot, and then you can get like landscape pins essentially to hold that tube in place inside your pot, which I currently don't have on me, so I'm just burying it for right now. If you happen to catch my recent Peninsula Garden refresh video, oh my gosh, it was so windy. Ah! Goodness gracious, it'll be a wonder if we can keep anything upright today. I didn't get to finish all the tasks that I was doing. Putting my kind of gross looking, sad looking purple mandevilla in this pot was one of the things I did. I took it out of the easel and put it in here, but I didn't get to finish filling it with soil. So we're doing that now. The pots were just blowing over everywhere. It was crazy. So check out that video and you'll see adding all sorts of new color into this flower bed that we're standing in now and trying to rescue this gorgeous guy who will be beautiful once again. Now for a little bit of color. We are going to plant up some of these caladiums. Now, much like the Peninsula Garden Refresh, where I really wanted to add summer color, same sort of deal back here in the Secret Garden. I'm along my blue boardwalk right now, and even though you see like this chartreuse right here with the lemon coral sedum, I am lacking some color right now, at least color that's lower to the ground. My canna lilies are very tall, their flowers are up about 5 or 6 feet, but down here I wanted more. So I got these two caladiums, two different varieties, so their colors are going to be slightly different. This one is called Tiki Torch Caladium, and this one is called Sangria. Oh my gosh, who wants to be part of the marketing team that gets to name these beautiful plants? I know I would love that because the names themselves make me want to buy these. Let me just pick out a couple of weeds over here and then we're going to get to planting. Luckily in this spot, I already have the drip irrigation line and it's up here, so I'm not going to dig into it accidentally. And I think what I'm going to do is put the two caladiums, I think I'm going to do something like this. Whoo-wee. Okay, so our next little garden job is going to be finding plants that are going into that garden easel. So I have the Dragon's Breath Celosia, as we've talked about many times, Celosia, whatever, that's reseeded itself over here in front of my greenhouse pathway. So I want more than one, so I'm not going to take this biggest one here because that is only one singular plant that I'll save that for somewhere else. But instead, I'm going to dig up a couple that are more of the same size, I hope. Let's see how it goes. And we're just going to grab as much root as possible. So here's one, and the other one I'm eyeing is here inside this bigger mass. So let's not kill the others. All right, this is actually good. I got a grouping of them. And they had to be transplanted anyway. I don't want them just growing in my gravel here. So let's do these 3 Dragon's Breath and then something else I want to grab from the yard too. These are going to, I think, go in a pot right now before they get wilty. The other thing I'm going to grab is some of this purple heart. I have it in plenty. It grows in pots, it grows in the yard. It's perennial for me. Now the deal with this is you can break off pieces of it and then root these pieces directly into soil or in water. In this case, I'm going to do it into soil. This way, I have some automatic color, and this purple, I think, is going to accent the sweet potato vine beautifully. Beautiful bunch of Dragon's Breath and beautiful bunch of Purple Heart. I have to say that foliage, beautiful foliage, has been the name of my game recently. So all the things that are going to go in here are really foliage plants now and not flowering, and it's just a stage. Let's see if that keeps wrapping. I technically have some begonias that I cut back right here, but I don't know how they're going to do. It seemed that both the begonias as well as the purple mandevilla suffered for whatever reason, even though I do have water up here. So I'm not going to take the begonias out just in case they show up. But what I am going to do is put a dragon's breath right here up in the front. And yes, it's little and you can't really see it right now, but you will be able to for sure. I'm going to put another dragon's breath in this hole right here if you can't see what I'm doing behind the sweet potato vine. And then the third one is going to go in this little window space right here. Now the purple heart, I'm just going to have kind of tucked around everywhere. It can drape, it can get tall, it does a lot of different things. It's a very versatile plant, and as I said, I have it in a lot of spots in the yard. You won't be able to see everything right now, but just as with other containers, so the sweet potato vine's new growth is like a pinkish purplish, which is cool because then the dragon's breath and the purple heart should be kind of tones of the same color. I keep retreating to the areas that are still in shade. It's after 8 o'clock in the morning though now, so we were out here for over 2 hours. Got a bunch of little chores done. Hopefully there was some, I don't know, fun in that, maybe some inspiration in that. It seems that a lot of garden folks enjoy seeing the process or the necessary things that have to get done in the garden too. It's not just about the tours or the most gorgeous things there are, but it's how do we get there? How do we make things look good? And taking care of the garden is certainly part of it. So thanks for following along on the journey. Thank you for the support in the comments. I love these wonderful comments that I get so much. Subscribe, follow me on social media, and until next time, you guys, happy planting.